Fellow tennis nerds, we're here with new Prince Tours, and I'm here with Eric, and he has his own racket. A collaboration with Prince. Very interesting colorway. I love it. I think Luca Pouille loved it when he tried it. We actually hit with Luca Pouille, so you'll see part of that in this video. A great guy, obviously a tremendous ball striker. He was top 10 in the world at one point, so that was interesting, and he really think that stood out. But that's the special collab they have, Tourline and Prince. That's the 305/98. That's the string pattern 1619, right?
1619.
Yeah. This one is the 100s. This is the 100 310. There's also 100 290, but there's a third 100 as well, which I'm not holding here, and that's the 305 1820. So that's going to be Luca Pouille's choice. The 1820 is going to give you more control. It's going to give you a little bit higher swing weight. I would say, like, for control players would be the choice if you're not going to go down to the 98, which might be the most popular one. I think if you go back in the previous generation of Prince Tours, ATS, that got like really rave reviews, and I think this is even better, but we'll get to that. 100 one, I think it's also better. It's an improvement. They're not as muted. I struggle a bit with the dampened feel of the previous Prince Tours. This one looks better. I still can sometimes like question the 16-18 string pattern. It's something we have talked about a little bit. I know Tim believes strongly in that, and in some rackets it worked really well. Sometimes here I feel like I would like a little bit denser pattern. I also have then the choice to go to the 1820. So it's good that you have that option. I'm here with a guy I met first time today, but he's been on my podcast like 3 times. Yeah, it's a bit weird how the tennis world works. Yeah. But we're here not to talk about that. Tim Paddock, he is the head engineer for a long time of Prince tennis rackets, and we have their maybe most beloved racket. You can maybe correct me on this, but the Tours, and they look spectacular. So tell me about the Prince Tour. Who is it for? What's the history and everything you can let us know?
Yeah, well, like you said, I think it's one of the really most asked about rackets that we've had. It's been a little while since we've updated it. The Tour is it's a sort of, it's a player's frame. It's an all-round frame, lots of control, precision, but it still has great access to power and spin. And yeah, we're really excited about this version of it, and I know everybody's been waiting for a while.
Yeah, it's the racket I get the most questions about of the Prince line. It's like, oh, the new Tours. When are the new Tours coming? It's interesting. When will they be out? Like, these are the 4 rackets, right?
Yep. So we have 4 rackets in the line this time. We have the Tour 100 in 2 weights, in 290 and 310 again. We have the Tour 100P, which is 100 with an 1820 string pattern, and then we have the Tour 98, which was really popular last time around, and we've updated it. They'll be launching French Open time this year. Super excited. They have like a little nod to the French Open with the sort of clay color in the decals, which is really nice. And yeah, we're super excited about this launch.
Yeah, they feel great. They have that bit more power than the previous generation, but what I like most is that they're more connected in feel. So you really feel like the ball on the strings. You feel it like cupping a bit on the string bed, which is what most players love. And I think it's kind of in the Prince heritage that you have that nice sensation when the ball stays a long time, but combined with some power here this time, right?
Yeah, and I think that was something that we were really searching for on this updated version. Obviously, the Tour has been a really strong franchise for us for a long time, but we wanted to just make sure that we take it to that next level, really feel connected to the frame. And so for the first time in any of our rackets, we've got a brand new technology in this frame called isofiber, which is a brand new construction in the frame. We've actually isolated the 0-degree fibers and the angle fibers to make the frame more efficient.
Okay.
And that's sort of what helps to give that slightly more connected feel and give it a little bit more easy put away power.
Yeah, you notice it straight away on court. We were lucky today, me, Eric, you, to play with an amazing tennis player, Luca Pouille, who's still your ambassador. I mean, he's been using your racket since he was 15-year-old. But what a guy to have giving you feedback on your rackets.
Yeah, and I've known Luca for a long time. He's been with the brand for a long time, and obviously he used the Tour 100P as a professional. So he's been just a huge help to us throughout this process. We get the feedback from him, which has been really helpful to help us really fine-tune and make sure that this racket is as good as we possibly can make it. And like you said, what a great ambassador for the brand. He's been a huge help, and it's so much fun hitting with him today.
That's why. Yeah, that's amazing. And which one is your favorite? And I will tell you my favorite of these 4 rackets.
Yeah, so my favorite is the Tour 98. It's probably the frame that I feel most connected to when I'm on court. I have to work a little bit harder. I have to move my feet a little bit faster. But when you get right in the pocket, it's just a beautiful hitting feeling. How about you?
My history is with the 100 310. I remember the Tech Stream, was it the first generation probably, that I loved, and I feel like it's back and it has like even better feel and also a little bit better comfort maybe. So for me, the 310 100 square inch, which is quite rare on the market today. Usually the 100 square inch rackets are lighter. They come in at 300 always, which can be a bit boring for playtesters especially. But here you have like a good combination of feel, some pop, and a little bit of stiffness. So yeah, I like this a lot.
Awesome.
I'm here with Luca Pouille, one of my favorite players. He has a beautiful technique, beautiful game, Prince player. But what are you doing now?
Now, mostly I'm coaching.
Yeah?
I'm coaching since June. Hopefully I can come back at some point. It's going to be depending on my wrist. I've been struggling with my Achilles and the wrist the last year, but yeah, coaching and being involved with Prince for months.
Yeah.
So it's great.
That's awesome. I know you've had every injury in the book pretty much.
Pretty much elbow, wrist, back, Achilles, yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. It's a part of the sport. Now you're coaching Rinderknecht, right?
Yeah.
Also a guy who's very hot now, so you've done a good job. He's doing really well on the tour. But let's get back to the rackets. When you played, I remember like that black and green frame, which is from the same family. So what is this racket family?
Yeah, so this is a new Tour 100 I'm playing with. It's the new model with, in my opinion, a bit more power than it used to be, but still a lot of control, and I think it suits the game that we need to have today with like bigger balls, slower courts, a lot of big eaters. So we need a lot of power. I mean to get some easy power because the match are long rallies, and I think the racket suits the game perfectly.
It does. It feels really nice, like a bit more pop, but still that like long dwell time in the strings where you feel the ball, where the ball is. It's not too dampened. And so your history with Prince, when did you first play a Prince racket?
I was 15 years old. I was at the Federation, the French Federation, and Rubens Rien back in the times was working for Prince and made me test the racket, and that's when I fell in love with it.
Yeah, that beautiful feel of
it was
a
rebel back in the days.
Yeah. And your best ranking, was it top 10?
10.
Yeah,
number
like
10.
10.
Yeah,
I remember
10.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing. Great work with Prince, great work with your player, and best of luck in the future. We're going to keep testing these. These are thumbs up so far, so very nice.
Thanks.
Nice
Thanks
talking to you, Luca.
Thank you.
For me, weight is kind of a little bit important, so I would go 310. 290, easier maneuverability, more room for customization, but it's the same racket, it's the same mold, it's the same layup, so it's just a weight choice. More plushness, more dwell time, easy racket to use, lots to like. It's a glossy cosmetic, black gloss, orange, that's kind of tennis nerd color, so there's a lot to like about this one. I think I would prefer having the control of the 1820 though. This one has a little bit more spin, a little bit more launch. Felt like it could sail a bit on me if I didn't just like go straight on it. So for me, the 1820 is a little bit better racket, but I think feel and like a slightly crisper, slightly more natural, slightly more authentic response in the new Princes over the previous generation, which I felt like it was over dampened. But you guys, I think, and also Eric, will love the 98 the most. And we had Ben from 101 also saying like, this racket is so good. And you actually are doing a string pairing with this racket, right?
Yeah. So I pitched to Prince, I think Wimbledon last year.
Yeah.
We had a Zoom call while I was there. You know, they wanted to do some sort of collab. We're trying to figure out which rackets we could collab on. And I've tried the previous ATS. It was a little bit, you know, I think the RA is like pretty low, which is nice. Like if you want something super comfortable, something that has a lot of dwell time, I think that was a good option. But I think this is a more modern frame in the sense that it has a higher RA.
Yeah.
It goes through a court a little bit faster.
Yep.
I think you get a lot more pop on the serve with the higher RA, a more connected response. And they gave us the racket, I think about 3-4 months ago. They said, hey, this is obviously, ATS is their best seller, the 98, 1619. Obviously, this is the safest one. I feel like with a 305 gram, like 98 square inch frame, it's got that, you know, traditional Prince flex, but I think they modernized it quite a bit in terms of the stiffer flex. And, you know, they basically said, hey, here's the racket. That's actually the final paint job. But they said, hey, do any paint job color you want. You can change the grommets. You can, you know, put any decals you want on it. We try to keep it clean, so you can see right here, we got the Prince, we got the Tourland on the right side, on the throat. And they also let us pick whatever string that we wanted to pair with it. So I've tried all the different, you know, Tourland families. We have Ochoro, we got the Wasabi. I tried a ton of hybrids. We landed on our new string A5.
Good choice.
Yeah, we tried like I think with rackets, there's so many like combinations. Yeah. Obviously, some strings pair better with some rackets. It's not necessarily that it's a bad racket. It's just sometimes you pair the wrong string with a racket and it just doesn't feel. They just don't connect, right? So we tried about, I think, 10 or 11, existing strings. We prototyped some new strings, and we landed on the A5. I think for this racket in general, like a more kind of round, maybe even octagonal would have been fine. String kind of paired well. Like I think it just had a better launch.
Yeah. It's more clean and it's like a little bit more predictable generally, like the round strings. I mean, some people love shaped strings, but I think like in that racket that you feel like already straight from the first hit when I play with it as well. Just very connected feeling. You know where the ball is going. You get a bit more pop than the previous one, and that muted response that I kind of disliked with the previous one, that's gone now. Now it's like a really good competitor to the Blade, I would say.
Yeah, it's a little thicker beam, so if you just want a little bit more pop, which I think in today's game with the balls, I think everyone's looking for a little more power. I think this is a good option, and look, it's like color match. It's a bit of extreme color, but it will be a limited drop, so we haven't finalized how many pieces will be available worldwide, but if we do sell through, you can obviously get the retail version. And then the string, we'll be able to sell it as long as the collab keeps.
Is that the softer flex string? Yeah, you're gonna have several.
We have 2 flexes right now. Yeah. We're pretty close to deciding which one. I need to play some matches with it, and have some pro players try it. But this is the softer flex, so we have 2 versions of A5. This one has a little more pop, but it also kind of depends on like what tension you like, right? So I think some players, with the lower tension, I think the stiffer flex, it's just more stable, right? But some people they like to string a little higher, or maybe they just want purely more pop. Sometimes the softer flex I think is better for that. And then doubles, I think sometimes you want a little more dwell time, just like when you're redirecting the returns, or you want a softer response in the first volley. I think the softer flex is nice for that. So I'm kind of like going back and forth between regular flex, soft flex.
Might need to release more.
Yeah, but it's got a cool color shift. You can see right here, a little bit of blue, but a little bit of purple. If you're into this color, I think hopefully you can get one.
And it does look great, and you will turn some heads with this one. And it's also a really nice playing racket. It is great, a bit more pop than a Blade, bit thicker beam. And
box beam too.
Yeah, box beam. So
like true box beam.
So real racket enthusiasts, I think you will find a lot to like in the 98. I think that's going to be still the best seller. It has like everything you want, like in a control racket with a bit more pop. The 100 is a bit more forgiving, it's a bit more powerful. I think it's a great update. If you like Prince, if you're a Prince fan, I know they don't have a lot of endorsed players on tour. But they do still make very good rackets, so if you're a fan of Prince, these will not disappoint.
I grew up, one of my first rackets was the Michael Chang long body.
Yeah.
So it's got
which was a great racket.
Awesome racket. I was like 7 years old, probably not the racket of that I should be using, but it just there's so much nostalgia. From
Prince is a nostalgia brand. Like they had display of the history of Prince rackets in one of the shops we went to, the Tennis Warehouse shop, close to Indian Wells. And you feel the nostalgia there. They had the Michael Chang, they had the Prince Mono, they had all the kind of classic sticks, the original.
Yeah.
So Prince, they deserve to be around still. They still make good rackets, but it's obviously a bit tougher to market when you are not endorsing a bunch of players. So, these ones are great. Check them out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you would play a purple racket, if you prefer going black-orange. Now you have the option. So that's it for the review. Have a nice day, and
don't forget to play tennis.